United States Army has issued a warning. 3 nuclear bombs have been launched from North Korea and will hit Orlando, Florida, Las Vegas, Nevada, and New York City, New York. This will expire at 5 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please get to an underground shelter or fallout shelter immediately.
RareRider here for motovlog number 2. Oh, school zone. Don't want to run over any children. The real threat is the cops. They like to sit over here and pull people over for speeding through child's playground land. Ooh. Yeah, it's about rush hour, 4:30, people cutting out. Not me, I'm headed to work. Well, my job's not really work. It's more so, more fun. I lift weights and I ride a motorcycle. That's my job. Work out and teach others to work out. Live the fit life. Hashtag fit life. Gotta love a quick shifter. This thing on the quick shifters on the Ducati is freaking sick. Definitely helps with the wheelies. You get to just click up a gear when you're ready. No need to clutch it. Kinda gotta go slow through this area. It's an area of like Overland Park, Kansas. It's the cops pretty much will escort your ass home. They're pretty much, they're just everywhere, and it's kind of like, you know, kind of being on the lookout for them. It could be around any corner, so you gotta be, especially on a super bike, you know, they just kind of target your ass because, you know, they assume you're just breaking the law, which is probably correct 90% of the time. I was talking about some stuff I wanted to do to my bike. I bought it brand new in March, and I wanted to add some, like, you know, exhaust and get the Termagoni map pack and all that stuff, like the remapping of it to give me some extra HP. Not that I need any more horsepower, but it's you know, why not? Well, I'll tell you why not, because it's like the fucking exhaust system's like $4 grand on this thing, which is ridiculous. And I'm cool. I expected maybe even $1,500, but it's like $2 grand for just the slip-on. It's not like the bike sounds pretty good just from the factory. Like stock exhaust, it sounds great. I know. I mean, the mic's probably, no electronic recording device will do this bike justice is in terms of, like, you know, sound. I'd like to do a little more to it to, you know, make it mine, but I think they're just beautiful bikes just right straight from the factory. There's not much you need to do to it. Which is nice, but at the same time kind of a headache because it's hard to make the bike yours, if that makes sense. It's hard to, like, you know, put your touch on it because there's not much that, in my opinion, needs to be really done to it to better it. Like, it's got everything on it that I would, maybe some shorty levers or something like that, but I'd like to get exhaust, but at the same time I don't want to spend that much money for just a you know, cooler exhaust system with sounds a little bit better, which it's gonna be hard to make that sound any better. Can we get a stoppie in? No, ABS kicks. Oh, ABS. You ruined Stoppie. I forget I gotta put that in race mode where I have the ABS turned off to get some decent stoppie action in, otherwise it just doesn't happen. Kia. Ah! See that fucking crater I just jumped? Good lord. Felt like Evel Knievel crossing the Grand Canyon. Spitting fire. The only thing I've done to this thing pretty much so far are these stomp grip pads, this Ducati Performance carbon fiber tank pad, some red socks, little shit. I changed the grips out to some Pro Grips, the 717 compound Pro Grips. They're pretty sweet, really grippy. You got the red kind of accents in there, really complements the bike a little bit. Man, other than that, I mean, it's pretty much stock. You know, it comes with the Brembo brakes. They take care of you on that. You know, there's not. I was gonna change the windscreen out to a double bubble. I still probably will, but I just, you know, I don't mind the clear OEM one. It doesn't really bother me. I wanted to put some, you know, a fender eliminator kit with some integrated turn signals, and then get some mirror block off plates that also had like the integrated turn signals for it. But because, you know, the mirrors kind of, I don't know, they're okay. These mirrors are actually usable. All the other bikes I've had, the mirrors have been like shit. So these are actually not bad. I looked at the bar end mirrors, but I don't know. I don't really like them. Just a kind of a personal preference kind of thing. Ooh, it was a little wet right there. But yeah, other than that, man, it's pretty good to go. Maybe in the future I'll do more like carbon fiber bits. I like the look of like the carbon fiber dash and like little accent pieces. Pretty much all the matte black plastic pieces to go to carbon fiber, and maybe the front fender, maybe the belly fairings, the nose fairings, something like that. I have a weird obsession with carbon fiber, so I'll probably put a lot of carbon pieces on it in the future to, you know, build it. Maybe you know, change out the sprocket color. I saw some really nice the sprocket carrier. You can make that like a nice kind of make it match like the red or something. Some aftermarket bar ends or some Ducati like racing bar ends that I like that were red. Those are pretty sick. But I don't mind these. Like, these are nice too. It's a nice bike. You know, I spent a lot of money on it, hard-earned money, and I just, you know, I don't have a problem with how it is just out of the door. So it's hard for me to justify spending even more money on it, changing out parts that, you know, I don't really mind keeping. So that's, you know, other than that, the thing's pretty much ready to go out the door, ready to hit the racetrack and get a bunch of fucking speeding tickets. I haven't been pulled over on this thing yet. I haven't even been, and it's not because I just run. It's because, like, you know, around town and stuff, like in residential, like I don't ride like a hooligan. You know, there's a big debate on, do you really need an $11.99 Panigale for the street use? And no, you don't need an $11.99 Panigale for street use. You know, you don't need a 600. You don't need a 250 for street use. I mean, if you're gonna ride around, like, you know, and just putt around and stuff, you could get by with that on a Vespa scooter 50cc thing. But, you know, where's the passion in that? I mean, there's something, I feel something, like there's something special about this bike when I'm riding around on it and people are breaking their necks trying to get a view. It makes, you know, like those guys, like you know, people take notice of a Ducati Panigale or any like leader bike, you know, and the debate there is you have more fun on a bike that's not as powerful, so like a supermoto or something like that. And I race motocross. I love dirt bikes. I love supermotos. You know, they have the super fun bikes. They're super fun, the supermotos, but you know, nothing gives me a hard on quite like a Ducati or a leader bike for that matter. Nothing does the job quite like a leader bike for me. You know, there's plenty of videos that other people have put out on the 1000cc, the leader bike debate, and sure, you know, I understand what they're saying, but for me, like, everybody, you know, different strokes for different folks, as the saying goes. You know, what's fun for me, what I enjoy, is the power of the Panigale. Like, there's nothing that kind of does it for me quite like a leader bike, and that's, you know, that's just that. It's all personal preference. You can do, people say people only ride them, you know, straight on a highway, and like, are you kidding me? Like, these bikes are made to carve up a twisty road. Granted, there aren't very many twisty roads, like there's a few in this area, but you know, we go to the Ozarks and Branson area. K5 is a highway in Kansas, is pretty twisty, up to Atchison, Kansas, from Highway 435. I know these highways and streets and towns probably don't mean nothing to the majority of you, but you know, leader bikes aren't. It's not a Hayabusa or ZX14, which those are pretty much, in my opinion, straight line bikes, more sport touring kind of bikes. Than, you know, a drag bike. You know, you'll see them stretched out and that kind of thing. And you know, when you start saying that leader, like, yeah, okay, I've got 200 horsepower available right now. I mean, I don't have to use all 200 horsepower just cruising around. People think that when you're on a leader bike that you're just gonna, you know, murder yourself. You're constantly, you know, breaking the law and riding like a hooligan. You don't have to. You know, it's called self-control. It's called self-control. And I have very little self-control because I speed a lot. I'm not gonna lie about that. But you know, you don't have to. That's the thing. That, like, I'm like in a residential, like here, I'm just cruising around. You know, it's not like I go cruise at it's not 150 miles an hour everywhere I go. So life with a Panigale, this is my bike. This is my daily rider when it's not, you know, like really shitty conditions or I need a car or something like that. This is my commuter. Is this the most practical commuter? You know, probably not. There are probably better choices out there for other people, but for me, this is the bike that I get the most enjoyment out of. And that's what, to me, isn't that what riding's all about? Enjoying your time out on the road, just you and your bike, just fucking getting it. I mean, come on. Why do you gotta sit there and say, oh, leader bikes are pointless to have? A lot of people say when you're on a leader bike, you know, you're just going to be breaking the law. I mean, if you ride like that, you're going to ride like that on a leader bike, a 600, a supermoto, a fucking Goldwing. You're going to ride hard, whatever you're on, if that's how you ride. So to say like this isn't a practical choice and whatever, you know, it's practical for me because I can fit most of my shit in a backpack. And, you know, this is the bike that I enjoy riding. Anyways,